The late adopter. Guys, capitulation phase is upon us. Maybe it's not. I know a lot of people have different idea what capitulation phase should look like. You know, straight down 50% is that capitulation. 2-3 months slow bleeding towards downside is that capitulation, you know. So we're gonna look at the last capitulation, you know, correlated with this capitulation. We're gonna look at some shady stuff, some really wacko stuff, like, you know, out of the mind, you know, and it's not for everybody, so, you know, there is a warning there. I don't mean about kids, I mean about, you know, people that have maybe, you know, certain opinions on how the world works. They might not accept the facts that I'm about to present to you guys, but, you know, eventually we all have to open to the, you know, universe. Okay, enough of the shady stuff. Capitulation, guys. Right now, what we think is happening is this last phase of the bull market. We think we are going on the downside. We think this is the last phase that's coming right now, and that's the capitulation phase. I know a lot of YouTubers are going around and saying right now, oh man, we are going to the bear market. We have been in the bear market for right now over a year's time. This what's happening right now is the last part of the bear market. This is the capitulation. We are going down to the bottom, and on the bottom we're gonna scoop up all the altcoins and go to the moon. So, but the big question here is, how is this gonna play out? Because like we said in the start, a lot of people have different, you know, ideas on how fast the dump should happen, so forth, so forth. So we're gonna look a little bit on that. And there, let me first tell you what we do expect to happen. We expect to hit some kind of 23, 24, 25,000 levels, because on the weekly time frame, that is the 200 moving average. Right now that 200 moving average is sitting at 21,000, but eventually it will climb a little bit up here. This will go a little bit down there, and it will hit it around you know, something like 23,000 on the downside down here, something like that, right? 23,000, 22, 23, 24, 25, give or take, in that area. You know, the 200 moving average historically has been, you know, bottom for Bitcoin, as you can see down here, and we are expecting that still to be the case. Now, what's happening up now? The second reason why we think that that might be because this move that's right now been happening on chart on the big time frames is some kind of a bear flag, guys. Some kind of bear flag, and bear flags are pretty, you know, easy to do. You take the bear pole, you copy that, and you take, you know, extend down here. You can see here that we are getting to the same area down here at 22, 23,000 again. So, you know, that's what we're looking for. So this stamp down here to some kind of 23, 24, 25,000, that's what we're looking at right now. Now, there is another much more important thing that we have to discuss, and that's the date, because a lot of people know that 200 moving average is going to be the bottom, but a lot of people do not know the date. We know the date. The date is between the 14th of June and the 13th of July, give or take the dates, but you know, it's in the ballpark area there. So let me put the lines down there. Where is July? July is over here. Let me zoom it in. Let's say 11 July, because this is a weekly time frame. And down here is you know, June, and you can see here very nicely. Let me just move up here. Very nicely, we have very nice correlation with the 200 moving average, the bear flag, to downside, and the dates. Now you might be asking yourself, you know, how do you know about the dates, the 14th June and the 11th July? Well, that's because, you know, June and July is what we call a supermoon, guys. Supermoon, yes, that's the shady part of the video. It's called the supermoon, so we actually know when the dates will happen. Sorry, when the, you know, bottom will happen. A lot of YouTubers know, you know what levels, you know, we should hit, and you know, where should we bottom out, but they do not know the date. We know the date. It's between June and July, so that means we got a couple of, like, 2 months left over here to drop on the downside. Let me clear up a little bit up here and just redraw the lines up here for a second. That's the June, and over here is July. So these are the days that we are gonna hit. Now, how is this dump gonna happen on the downside? Are we just gonna go straight down here, or will there be some kind of pullback, some kind of sideways motion and right down? And I think there will be some kind of sideways motion down here before we actually hit the bottom. Let me show you the moons right now over here, guys. And these are the moons. The upper moons are new moons, the bottom moons are full moons. Full moons push you towards the upside, new moons push you towards the downside. Everything is working as planned, and everything is going according to plan right now. And right now we are going a little bit towards the downside. Let me go maybe to the daily time frame up here. So you'll see this last moon down here. Nobody was believing us, but you know, we still went down on the new moon, and we are still going down. Now, next moon that's gonna happen before we get to the June super moon is a full moon down here. Full moon down here. And that's gonna happen on the 14th of May, 15th of May, or something like that. And after that's gonna be full moon. And after that, we got another new moon around, I think, 31st May or something like that, give or take. Another new moon down here, up here. If I can just draw this, another new moon. So over here is the new moon. We dump down. This is the full moon. Maybe some kind of sideways motion down here. Maybe a little bit pull towards the upside. And then on the next new moon, we dump down all the way down to some kind of, you know, 24,000 down here to the June super moon, which should be the bottom for Bitcoin, and then continue to rise. So the way I see this happening over here right now is going first down here. The, you know, at least something like 1 more week or something like that, more downside, then some kind of consolidation, some kind of move towards upside. Something's gonna happen up here that's not gonna, you know, that's, you know, people are gonna, you know, get think that maybe, oh my, 29k is maybe some kind of, you know, bottom, and we're gonna go up, and then we're gonna dump big time, less dump towards the supermoon, and that's gonna be the bottom. So let me show you on the charts how this actually looks. So we are gonna correlate 2 charts over here. This is the Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin as well, and as you can see here, let me just go on we can clear up everything up here. This move on downside, that's this move up here, but we're gonna go back to 2018 on this capitulation phase down here. This is a very famous capitulation phase, and it is playing out right now almost exactly like this is playing out. So we're gonna analyze it a little bit, and we're gonna see how it's actually also playing out with the moons and the moon phases. So the first thing you're gonna notice, first we're gonna say a little bit here down here, it's when we started the dump up here, we are sitting at some kind of 40 level on the RSI. The same thing goes up here. When we started the dump up here, we are sitting at some kind of 40 level RSI. So the RSI is the same, and you can see that when RSI goes down, just because we are hitting right now these very low levels at 30, during capitulation in a strong bearish trend, you kind of overshoot these levels, and you can overshoot pretty much. This went all the way down to 10 RSI on the daily time frame, and that was a pretty big dump on the downside, pretty much very overextended. But even that pulled us up a little bit down here, and we still continued on the downside. Also, the MACD is going down. MACD over here was going down. So the indicators are showing us right now the same kind of patterns that we had before. On the chart, what we can see here, we were consolidating for a long time, and then we started dumping on the downside. Consolidating for a long time. This was actually a falling wedge, but still consolidation, and then big dump happened. Now the initial dump happened with a big move. And you can see here, same here happened as well. The big dump was down 10%. During the day, it was down all the way 15%, but it closed at 10%. Now, this dump over here, it went down 10%, but closed 7%. So it's not, you know, 100% the same, but, you know, it's a big dump towards downside. It signifies a bearish move towards downside, and that's what we happening. And you can see even after this big move towards downside, we had a couple of days down here that we are actually consolidating. Over here we are also consolidating, but we are consolidating towards the downside, but we are still, you know, having these smaller pullbacks, you know, not small pullback, we are still having these small moves towards the downside. So everything is working nice and dandy so far. And how long is this gonna happen? First of all, let's go to this chart over here and look at the moons, and what you're gonna see here is exactly what's gonna happen up here on the chart that we just were explaining, you know, a minute ago. First, we have a new moon up here that pushes towards downside. Then we get this full moon, then, you know, pushes a little bit towards the upside, consolidate, upside, sideways, however you want to see, you know, we get, you know, this relief move towards the upside, and then we get another full moon. This actually, a new moon was actually at the bottom, but, you know, overall, we got this new moon up here, and then full moon there, so we are technically going still downwards, but it did stop the move a little bit here, and then, you know, we consolidated. This last move pushes a little bit more down, then we get the full moons and so forth, and then we continue, you know, climbing up here towards the upside. And the same thing we are expecting up here. We got right now the new moon on the top of the chart. We are getting on the 14th of the May, we are getting the full moon. On the 14th of the around, I think 31st May, give or take, we are getting the full moon, sorry, the new moon again. And on the 14th of July, sorry, 14th of June, where is 14th of June? Up here, 14th of June, we are getting the full moon again. So what we are expecting right now, more move towards downside for another week, give or take. More move towards downside, maybe a little bit move up here before we actually go a little bit more down. Then we're gonna hit the new moon, just like over here. We go a little bit, you know, we consolidate a little bit up here. Then we had a big move towards downside, so we're expecting some move towards downside. We are expecting this first full moon to, you know, give us some kind of, you know, because we are gonna get some kind of extended levels down here. We're gonna get the extended levels down here. So once we get these extended levels, we expect some kind of move towards the upside, consolidation, something's gonna happen here. Then this next new moon is gonna hit in, and we're gonna dump big time or slow time, how, you know, how this is actually gonna happen. Now it's actually gonna go all the way down there, something like this, right? Maybe it's gonna go like this down here, here. How it's gonna play out is not real important. The dates are important. So we are having this, you know, drop another week's time, then, you know, full moon gonna push us a little bit towards the upside, sideways, some kind of pump. Then we're gonna get another new moon, we're gonna dump down, and on the 14th of June, around 14th of June, give or take, a little bit before, a little bit after, really doesn't matter. In this ballpark area down here, we're gonna hit the bottom around 23, 24, 25,000. So that's what we're expecting. So you can see right now that the dump, the capitulation dump is not happening that fast. I mean, it is happening, but, you know, this is taking, the first move did take 11 days. I mean, a little bit over a week, but the entire move towards the bottom down here did take almost a month's time. So people don't actually have a really nice sense of how much we're gonna dump towards downside, because it's just a slow move. But we do have these big drops down here. You can see big drops that are very scary to people, and, you know, eventually they kind of capitulate on the bottom down here. Will it actually play exactly the same as it did over here, or will it have some kind of different kind of capitulation? You can also see that this capitulation fell down 50% right now. We are not expecting that 50% drop, but you know, down here, where was it? Around 40% drop, give or take. If it goes a little bit more down to some kind of, you know, 50%, we might hit some kind of 20,000 levels, something like that, but I don't think so. I think we are gonna hit around, you know, 23, 24, 25. That's around 40% drop right now, which should be what we are expecting. So you can see right now, if this capitulation is right now in full effect, and we are going towards downside, and it's not gonna be just straight line done and just recovery back. It can be that as well, but if it plays out like last time, and right now we are having the same kind of moons playing out. Of course, we always have the same kind of moons playing out. So we are expecting something like this to the downside before we hit these two super moons on the bottom side here between the 14th of June and 11th, 12th, 13th July. Once we hit these super moons on the downside, that's gonna be the bottom. We know it's gonna be the bottom because there are super moons. It's a very special event. And once we do hit that, you know, that's gonna be accumulation phase, that's gonna be, you know, bottom phase. There will be a lot of shaking going on over here, and then after that we can actually move towards the upside. So guys, the way we see the charts right now, we are in the last part of the bear market. We are in the capitulation part. We are waiting for some kind of finishing move to all of this madness. And once that's over with, guys, you gotta understand, this is start of the bull market, because once capitulation happens, the bull market is not the last part. Let me show you. The bull market is not the last part, guys. The bull market is not the last part. Let me just clean up the chart a little bit. And this over here, this is not the bull market. That's just the last part of the bull market. The same way this is not, this is not the bear market. This is just the last part of the bear market. This entire thing over here, was the bear market, right? And this over here is the last part of the bull market. And the same over here, you know, this isn't the bear market. The entire thing up here is bear market. This is just the last phase of the bear market, right? But over here, this is the last phase of the bull market. The bull market actually started down here. You can see that right now, right? This is the bull market, you know, it went up. This is the bull market. This is the start of the bull market. This is the ending phase of the bull market. And the same thing is going to happen here. This is going to be the start of the bull market. And then we're going to have, you know, ending phase of the bull market. You don't want to wait for this part over here. You want to wait for this part here where the bull market starts, because when capitulation happens, when everything goes down, it's going to take you know, a month's time, give or take 1 month, 2 months time to hit this bottom. But when that happens, we are actually officially starting a bull market again from the bottom, not the last phase, from the bottom. So you got that to look forward to. Anyways, guys, that's a little bit explanation on how this capitulation might unfold, if it unfolds the way it did last time. Whether it's gonna be exactly the same or not, we gotta see that. But you know, we are expecting, you know, between June and July some kind of bottom. We are hoping for that. That bottom is gonna be bottom of capitulation, but the start of the bull market, guys. Remember that. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if not subscribed, and join KuCoin, because there will be a lot of gems to buy on KuCoin eventually. Bye, guys. Bye.